With 5.0 and natlan, we just got a slew of good improvements to Genshin. We're level 9, artifact crafting, hard imaginarium theater. There's a lot of good here. It feels really nice. And yet there are still things that can be done to really just propel Genshin into the stratosphere. Make no mistake, I'm sold on the updates and changes, but as good as the recent changes have been, Genshin still isn't perfect. And it never will be. I've yet to play a totally perfect game in my entire life. But that doesn't mean you can't improve something to be the best it can be. With that, here are 9 things I'd like to either see added into Genshin or expanded upon if it's already here. Some of, or even most of these things, have been stated many times by players over the course of the game's lifespan. But I'm here to echo the ones I want to see the most, which is basically all of them. I'm going to try to make this reasonably fast. I don't want this video to be extremely long. So with that, let's go. Alright, so starting out at number 1, it's artifact loadouts. We just got the artifact crafter, and that's great. That's progress, baby. But loadouts is the other thing the community at large has requested many times, including myself. Yeah, loadouts. Where are they? Where are they? I'll say it every time, dude. I'm gonna say it every time until it exists. Where's the loadouts? It's a quality of life that just should have been here, you know? It's convenient. And Genshin is a game where characters can have many builds and playstyles. If you're playing a freeze team oriented Ganyu, maybe you want the Blizzard Strayer for the crit. But if you're playing a melt based Ganyu, maybe you want Wanderer's Troop. There are several reasons why you may want to equip a particular build on the fly. And as well, you might not want to just totally toss the pieces you already have equipped into the ether. Loadouts would do that, they're the answer. I mean, it sure beats throwing them on some level 20 character you never play as a way to just consolidate them all. Of course, it would need some features, such as warning the player if a particular artifact in the loadout is already equipped on another character. But okay, and? Sure, whatever, just let us do it. To be fair, it's probably something for veterans, since vets would be mostly the ones to have multiple builds for a single character. It's hard enough to get one build for a character. Someone new to the game isn't worrying about a second build yet, so yeah, this is a veteran request more than anything. But still, for all 12 of those ka-ching players that like to bring their physical builds out for whatever reason, this could be a welcome addition. Alright, moving on to number 2, it's the other obvious one, skins. That is to say, more of them. This is one of those where I said it's in the game. It just doesn't feel fully realized yet for its own potential. There is no reason we shouldn't have skins galore. Yeah, you can say it takes resources and time and money for the company to do so. But to that, I say, okay. And so does literally everything else in the game. How Hoyoverse isn't capitalizing is beyond me. It's crazy. This game came out in 2020, it's 2024, and this is all the skins we've ever gotten. That's insane, especially when you consider some players just don't vibe with some characters' normal appearances. Emily was recent. Many players just found her appearance underwhelming. I didn't, but others did. And well, imagine a skin for her. It could be anything, just another normal skin, or a regional one designed to look like it's from another region, like maybe Sumeru or Inazuma, or even something wild like a lab coat chemist skin. There it is, that's the ticket. Suddenly a lot more people would like Emily. I feel like every character should have at least one. Heck, I feel like every character should launch with a skin for that matter, or at the very least have one by their first rerun. Diluc? Yeah, he should be running up on like his 5th skin or so at this point. And for number 3, new animations and body types. This could be 2 different parts, but I'm putting them together for the similarities. Alright, we're in 5.x now. It's time for some new body types, and some new base animations for the ones we already have. Listen, unique character animations have gotten significantly better over time, Wanderer and Arlecchino can fly around, Mualani can surf. It's really nice to see, but I feel like some plunge, charge attack, and running animations could have some variety at this point. When I first saw Klee's running animation years ago, I was like, "Aw, that's adorable." And then I saw Chi-Chi had it, and then I saw Diana had it, and then Sayu had it, and Dori, and Nahida, and Shizui, and Kachina. We couldn't get one new variation? Like maybe a brisk skip or something? Yeah, the novelty is way dead. And it goes for the other recycled animations too. And don't come at me with that, "Oh, but it's an expense saving" excuse. The company makes millions, dude. I'm not excusing it. Nope. And new body types are also something that would be nice to see. Every playable adult male is lean and thin. Remember Ito? Arataki Ito? Yeah. Like, I swear, we could get a teaser lore about an upcoming male character that says, "His arms have the bulk of an ape, and his footsteps quake the land." And dude is still gonna come out looking like Al Haytham. Like, bro. And it's not even like they don't create whole new bodies and rigs as it is. Every time a new enemy type is introduced, it's something new they've created. Just think about that. The new Wyob enemies didn't just come out of nowhere. Yeah, someone designed it. I'm just saying, apply that same concept to the playable characters. I'm not saying every character has to have its own unique body type. I'm just saying make a few more base types. It must suck being one of those chubby NPCs you see walking around the game, because in their mind, they must automatically know they'll never get a vision. Because I mean, we have the data. The data's here. We have the data. I guess we're just not going to get a little boy character ever either, huh? I mean, there's no body type for it. I guess they could use the little girl body and rig, and then, just make a little boy, but they legit just won't do that. And as a result, it goes past the point of just being noticeable and actually starts affecting perception of the game's world. Because there's no young boys with visions. Am I crazy? Is that not like an unspoken elephant in a room? Because I mean, I guess if we're going off of what we know about obtaining a vision, young boys in Teyvat must have like no ambition, or hopes, or dreams, or anything. Someone needs to tell Timmy he's not gonna level up by watching the birds all day. Next up, it's an Abyss rework at number 4. Yep, I was bold enough to say it. Imaginarium Theater was a welcome addition to the game, and I'm absolutely thankful to have it, but Abyss does still exist. That's the same thing as it basically always has been. It's pretty noticeable to me that Theater has had more changes and updates to its systems in its short lifespan so far than what Abyss has had since the game began. It's long overdue for a facelift. And look, I'm not even talking about what the Abyss is. It's our vertical investment test, alongside Theater, which is now our horizontal test. It's just the Abyss test is kind of uninteresting in comparison to what's been axed out of Theater. Let's get some new gameplay conditions in here, Let's get some new win conditions. I remember that one Abyss cycle that ran during the 2.x cycles where we continuously lost health. How about more stuff like that? Or what about an Abyss floor where the floor is falling platforms, forcing you to constantly move to stay afloat? What if getting 3 stars in a chamber required doing at least 5 instances of at least 100k damage, aside from just finishing the chamber in time? I don't know, just some new stuff, man. The killing blow on an enemy can only be by a polearm user or something. But yeah, dude. Now, I do realize if you go too far out with the rules like that, you end up running away from the concept of vertical investment. But to be fair, that's already a thing to a degree. For instance, maybe you do have 8 or 10 or 12 really good vertically built characters. But what if none of them are good at removing Geoshield, and floor 12 enemies have Geoshield? You see what I mean? Even as is, your character's best don't always satisfy the conditions. So I don't think it's too bad to add some other conditions in there besides elemental ones. Not to mention, it could be spiced up with structural changes as well, like something similar to Inazuma's 2.x Labyrinth Warriors. Imagine that, running around from room to room, but it's a form of Spiral Abyss instead. There you go, some freshness right there. All in all, I just want something new and exciting for the Abyss though, because in comparison to Theater, it now just feels a little dated. And yeah, I stayed away from the low-hanging fruit of add more floors. That's not creative. Number 5, skippity skip skip button. The Traveler should be renamed the Listener, because characters in this game will yap your ears off. Only half of the time they're not even voiced, so they're not even yapping your ears off at that point, they're just yapping. A lot. Too much. And it would be nice to not have to sit through that every time. Now look, I appreciate the story of this game as much as the next big fan. It's not like I'd even use a skip button that often, especially during Archon quests and World quests and other similar big deals. But to not even be able to skip through like commission dialogue and stuff? Bro, what? I've done this commission like 24 times at this point, and there's like 12 lines to click through. Am I even playing Genshin at this point, or am I stuck in that Sumeru Samsara loop? Let me out of here, like for real, dude. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to. And honestly, even for the important quests, it should still be available. Some people just aren't interested in the story like that, and honestly, that's okay. Do you know how many people get into things just for the action and the thrill it provides? Like, there are people who can't tell you a thing about what's going on plot-wise in those big blockbuster Marvel hero movies, but that's okay because the fight scenes carried it for them. All they have to know is, this guy good, wants humanity to live. That guy bad, wants to destroy the planet. And that's it, that's all they need. And just like that, here in Genshin, some people just want to get through the game. I don't think that's a terrible thing, that's okay. Not to mention, even though I generally wouldn't skip through the dialogue in an important quest if the option existed, there has been a few times I'd have liked to been able to, for whatever reason. Maybe I have to be somewhere soon and really would like to just finish the quest before leaving my house. Or maybe I'm super tired at night and just want the satisfaction of getting it done before I fall asleep. If there's any tidbit there I'd miss, there's always YouTube and Reddit and other sources I could turn to fill in the blanks later, you know? But the option to just speed through it right away so I can play, that would be nice. And it would especially be more justifiable if my number 6 on this list existed. Replayable missions, number 6. Yep, that's it. That's the whole thing. Like, honestly, this alone would kill any argument against there being a dialogue skip button. Because, you know, you could always just come back and play it again later when you have the time and are more interested. But for now, you could just skip it. Not to mention, this game is just full of so many memorable moments, but we only get to experience them once, and that's kind of tragic. There are quests I'd love to play through again, especially as we get deeper into the game. Because let's be honest, the story is getting longer and longer, and the lore is getting deeper and deeper. Do you know how hard it is to recall some things? In the recent Natlan quest, they did a callback to something that happened in Mondstadt. Freaking Mondstadt, dude. We're talking about a fact that was presented to us 4 years ago. Replayable missions would be a huge help in letting us periodically freshen our own memories about the world and the story and the lore, and just relive those moments, you know? And it would add some optional replay value. And at number 7, this is another one that's technically in the game already, but I would like to see more of it. I'm talking about dynamic battles and encounters. What do I mean by dynamic? I mean allies in real time battling with us. That has happened a few times and was something we started seeing in Sumeru. They also employed it a few times here in the Natlan debut, and it really worked for creating some of the atmosphere in the battle. So then, why am I saying it if they're already doing it? Again, I want to see it more often. It really breathes life into the world, and I'd like to stumble upon it just out in the open world even. It doesn't happen nearly enough. I'd like it to even go beyond that too, honestly. I'd like to stumble upon 2 enemy factions duking it out with one another as well. We should absolutely be able to spot a group of Fatui foot soldiers in a real life or death struggle with the Abyss. And I should absolutely be able to blow up both sides and take all the spoils for myself. And if a group of enemies of one faction are chasing me, and I lead them into a group of enemies of another faction, it should result in one big cluster where we're all fighting each other now. This is such a cool concept in games, and I love it. I guess I go all the way back to the Halo series for that. Nothing like those epic moments with the Covenant and the Flood tearing away at each other while you're just blasting a path through both. Or games like Fallout 3, where you can just randomly catch a group of raider thugs in a shootout with the Brotherhood of Steel. It just never gets old, and with all the different factions in Genshin, it would work amazingly well here too. Even Wuthering Waves does it on a consistent basis rather than just occasionally. So if one is thinking it's too unrealistic for mobile, that's kind of debunked already as well. Yep, more dynamic battles. I want to see it more. Especially if it incorporates number 8. And at number 8, I have more playable characters in the open world. This is something I've seen talked about since day one. Why is Lisa not in the Mondstadt library? Why is Xiangling not at Wanmin restaurant cooking? And since no one is where they should be, where the heck are they? Why don't I see them out in the open world itself then? I need answers because it seems like as soon as a quest ends, characters frick right off into another dimension or something. Like, what the heck, I'm just a traveler. I'm just visiting your world. You're the one who actually lives here. What? You just left me here. It would serve to liven up the world so much if you could actually see other characters in it. I know some may be thinking about Teapot when I say this too, since you can put characters in there. But man, I don't count the Teapot. It's cool to build your village around your companions and everything, yeah, but Teyvat is the place that could use their presence. Even if they're not interactable, even if it's literally just Nilou standing around Zubair Theater completely uninteractable, that would be cool. But let's be real, I want interaction. Especially with what I said with number 7, with dynamic battles. How nice would it be for AI Amber to help you clear a mob in Mondstadt? She doesn't have to be all super technical or fancy. Heck, even just standing around and just tossing Baron bunnies would be fun to see. The least coding and AI required. Just stand there and toss a Baron bunny and be useful. They could even just spawn the character when you activate a field challenge, easy peasy. I know I'm going a bit far with the whole battle assist thing though, so to dial it back a little bit, yeah, just seeing the characters exist in the world itself would be nice enough. They're the stars of their nations, iconic household names. Let them shine. And let them exist. And now with number 9 we have more local legends. Another one technically in the game, but something I want more of. Also, to be honest, I think this is something we'll start seeing more of. After all, we just got them in Natlan, so that's a good thing, that's a good sign. But I'd like to see them do it retroactively too. I'm ready for it. When these released in Fontaine, I said right then and there that local legends could be the key to giving some of the hardcore players that little edge they're looking for. Now look, I'm very happy with World Level 9. Everything feels better. Enemies last longer. I no longer one-shot them. And I take significantly more damage too. I find myself heading back to the statues of 7 to heal way more often now. It's great. I've legit been killed before. Death never felt so good. But you know what else would be great? Enemies scattered all across the map that can one-shot me. Enemies that take finesse and a quick finger to beat. If these were scattered across Mondstadt and Liyue and Inazuma and Sumeru as well, it would be a great reason to backtrack to those places we just don't go to anymore. But I want them to expand upon it even more than that. Make local legends versions of the world bosses. Any good pyro DPS can melt down the Cryo Regis-Fine. Remember the Cryo Regis-Fine? Remember that thing? Anyone remember that? But yeah, not the local legend Cryo Regis-Fine. See what I'm saying? It's a good idea for how to breathe life into some of those old bosses we forgot even exist. The local legend version would go crazy, dude. And don't be afraid to throw local legends into the Spiral Abyss as well. Heck, you know what? Make a bonus Spiral Abyss floor that consists only of local legends. There you go, boom. I know I said earlier when talking about the Abyss that adding a floor is low-hanging fruit and not creative. But if we have to have an extra floor, there the idea is. Floor 13, local legends only. Dude, can you imagine? That would be so sick, dude. There you go, Hoyoverse. You've proven to me that you can make some pretty challenging enemies overall. Now let me at them. Bonus. Surprise, there's actually a bonus one here. Before I wrap it up, I'd just like to throw it in here as well that I'd like to see collabs again. Particularly collab characters. Look, nobody is going to say Aloy is a great character. That's cap. But it doesn't mean collabs have to be completely dead either. The fact that they dropped one character, then just never did it again, that's kinda lame, dude. I'm not even saying the characters have to be super good or viable, but it would be fun just to have them. Where's 2B? Where's my 2B? Why can't I have 2B in Genshin? Where is that? Why don't I have that? You can collab with KFC to make some gliders, but you can't collab with other game companies anymore? What is that? Heck, you know what? Forget it. Don't even collab with other companies. Just collab with yourself, dude. Where's my March 7th in Genshin? Where's that? She uses ice. She's cryo. She uses a bow in her original preservation path. She makes shields. She's literally budget Diona. Just make a budget Diona. Well, even though Diona's already a 4-star, so really Diona's already kind of budget herself. But you see what I'm saying? It's not like they couldn't do it. Well, where's my Kafka? Where's my Kafka in Genshin? I would go nuts for that. She could be Aloy tier bad and I'd still play it. But honestly, collabs would be super good. Would really love to see more third-party characters in Genshin. But again, even if that can't happen, just collabing with other Hoyo games would be cool. And bonus. This one is the reverse. It's one thing I thought I wanted, but now I don't want, the more I think about it. And that's an increase in character levels, but more specifically an increase in character power. Let me explain. I said before that I'd like to be able to take our characters further past level 90, and talents past where they cap as well. I'm unsure if I still feel that way though. Here's the thing, it all depends on how much power we get from that. And I say that because World Level 9 has felt so good. The enemies are beefier, and I'm more fragile, and I love it. What I worry about with an increase in character levels, like say to level 95 or 100, is that the game may once again begin to feel like it did at World Level 8. That is to say, nothing hurting me, and every mob dying before a full rotation. And I don't want that. I'm happy with the increase in challenge, even if it's only marginal. If my characters can catch up again, then the world level increase won't feel as satisfying as it currently does anymore. And I don't want that. The caveat here is that I would like an increase in character level as long as it doesn't directly provide to my combat strength. If it unlocked unrelated things like exclusive cosmetics or effects or even stories. But if it's just going to make my character strong enough to trivialize World Level 9, no, I don't think I want that. I've thought long and hard about it and just, nope. And there you have it. 9 things or improvements I would still like to see in Genshin, 1 bonus one, and 1 thing I don't think I want to see in Genshin anymore. This game has made huge strides over time. It sure did take long enough, right? But here we are. There's no doubt in my mind that they will continue to improve the game, and heck, they may even do a few things on this list. In the meantime though, I'm still happy with what's here. No matter what, we'll always be able to think of improvements. If I got everything on this list, I'd just end up making another list in the future, right? People are never satisfied. But that's just the thing too, right? We've gotten so much over not just the past patch, but honestly like the past year. Qualities of life here, new modes there. And with all that, I can still make a list of things I'd like to see. I don't know, that's just kind of wild when you think about it. But anyway, that's about it for me on this one. I'm gonna get out of here and actually go play the game instead of just talking about it. What do you think about any of these things I listed? Or do you have something else in mind completely that you'd like to see? Feel free to comment and let me know what you're thinking. I read everything. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a good one. I'ma just link this video in the next Genshin survey.